If you look at the EBRD website, very quickly, you realize that the organization is about changing people's lives and that trade facilitation is at the heart of EBRD's activities. Kamola, a warm welcome. Now, presumably, with all the disruption that's taken place over the last year, EBRD has been pretty active.
Thank you, Mark. Indeed, EBRD has been quite active last year. We had 10% growth in our annual business volume. And with a record investment of 11 billion in EBRD regions last year, 3.3 billion volume was dedicated to support of international trade. We have absolutely delivered our promise to help our countries to deal with the economic impact of COVID-19.
That's amazing. And Kamola, can you tell me about this scholarship program with ICA? How does it fit into EBRD's activities?
EBRD is an avid supporter of international trade in EBRD countries of operations, supports local bank, not only providing with bank guarantees for international trade transactions, but we are also actively training our colleagues in the local banks in advanced trade finance subjects. In addition, we support their work with the policy dialogue with the local regulators to ensure the local laws and regulations support and facilitate international trade.
Thanks, Kamola. So, Bill, how does ICA fit into this? Presumably, this is really important to ICA.
It is an extremely important project, Mark, to be honest with you. The ICA is a not-for-profit organisation, and part of its mission statement and its values and its ethical approach to things is to support developing economies. And this was an ideal opportunity to participate with EBRD to achieve that particular objective. Now, we do that in a number of different ways. One is obviously by supporting education, training and qualifications, which are awarded jointly with the University of Manchester, a very prestigious university. And these are international qualifications that will be recognised all over the world. Our core objectives is to raise this standard of professionalism in the compliance anti-money laundering industries. And we seek to do that in a number of different ways. We want also to promote great customer due diligence, good regulations and corporate governance. So the opportunity to provide scholarships to individuals in these developing countries is really in line with EBRD's own internal objectives and is supported totally by the mission statements of the ICA.
Thanks, Bill. Kamola, this sounds like really quite a unique arrangement. From your perspective, I know it's early days, is this showing signs of being a success?
Absolutely. In fact, all of our projects, usually all of our technical assistance projects are normally funded by different donors or EBRD's shareholders fund, like for this project. However, the combination of funding for this particular collaboration with ICA is unique and unprecedented because the scholarships are jointly funded by ICA and EBRD. So your question, was it successful? Yes, absolutely, because attendance rate has been 100%, pass rate on examination has been extremely high, and according to Bill, it's much higher than the average pass rate in global ICA data. So I'm extremely proud for the students from EBRD countries of operations that were fortunate to receive the ICA and EBRD scholarship for compliance education and pass the exams with such high pass rate. Compliance has been one of the biggest impediments of international trade in our countries of operations, and this talent who finished ICA trainings will build back better compliance processes and procedures at their local banks to prevent financial crime and improve quality of compliance.
Thanks, Kamola. So Bill, from a student perspective, clearly, this is important. What do they end up with? Do they get a formal certification?
They do. We have a range of different levels of program, but all will carry with them formal certifications from the ICA and the University of Manchester, which is a critical aspect of that. But more importantly here is in fact the type of programs that the people are taking. They're doing things like certificates in customer due diligence and know your clients, risk in correspondent banking. We all know one of the big issues at the moment for the developing nations is de-risking and the whole issue around correspondent banking. And this particular qualification is going to really help these individuals working within the banks and in the regulatory environment. We do programs, of course, things like anti-money laundering, financial crime prevention, trade-based money laundering, and risk qualification. So these are all directly relevant qualifications for these people. And I want to reinforce the point that Kamola mentioned there about the success of these students. A 95% pass rate on programs, you know, and probably I think upward of 50% of people are getting distinctions and merits on those programs. People are totally committed. They're seeing the value. They're participating in every possible way. You see that from the award ceremonies that we have around the world. Now, about 825 people have gone through these scholarship schemes. So over the next couple of years, we're going to see a real impact on, in fact, the organizations that they work for. And as well as that, from an individual point of view, these students, in fact, are going to be better able to support and help their organizations with the skills and competencies that they're going to learn.
Thanks, Bill. And Kamola, there seems to be a strong commitment coming through these people attending the courses. Is that the case?
Absolutely. They are not only taking time to attend, as I mentioned, attendance rate has been 100%, but they are very committed and motivated to pass exams with a high mark. In a way, EBRD and ICA democratize education. The courses, normally ICA courses are very expensive, and there is an affordability issue in EBRD countries of operation. So the internet-based learning has really allowed us to train the furthest regions and regional banks, smaller banks in our countries of operations.
Thank you, Kamola. So, Bill, to wrap up, this does seem to be having a big impact. We're talking about facilitating trade, de-risking, and for the individuals, it means a lot.
A huge amount. You're inculcating best practice, which is really important from the international bank's point of view, who deal very much with the local jurisdiction banks, and that issue of compliance and, in fact, anti-corruption and anti-money laundering are critical issues that these people are going to be able to help their organizations with. So it's a terrific opportunity. The scheme is doing really well, and we're hoping to really enhance that over the next few years as well.
Thanks, Bill. And thanks, Kamola. At the very beginning, we talked about EBRD changing lives, and I can see this program will do the same. So thank you very much.
Thank you.